Lufthansa flies aircraft that other airlines scrapped years ago, some A340s pushing 26 to 29 years old, A321s from 1994 still operating daily routes, 747-400s that survived far longer than any competitor kept theirs. So, why would one of the world's most recognized airlines fly jets that look like they belong in a museum? Is Lufthansa broke? Are they mismanaged? Did they just forget to order new planes? None of the above. What looks like a weakness is part of a strategy, one built on economics most airlines can't replicate, a maintenance empire that changes everything, and a fundamental disagreement with how the rest of the industry thinks about aircraft. Part of it is aircraft delivery delays. But to understand why this works, we need to start with the one thing Lufthansa has that almost no other airline does. Most airlines outsource heavy maintenance. When costs spike on older aircraft, they retire them. It's cheaper to lease something new than keep paying external MRO providers. Lufthansa does the opposite. It does MRO in-house, and it doesn't just maintain its own aircraft, it profits from it. Lufthansa Technik is one of the world's largest independent MRO providers. It serves over 800 customers globally. Lufthansa Technik outperforms independents thanks to its global network of 12-plus facilities across Europe, Asia, and the Americas, which streamlines parts sourcing and cuts logistics costs through centralized inventory. In 2024, Lufthansa Technik hit record revenue of €7.4 billion, about 19.4% of the group's total, while posting €635 million in adjusted EBIT. Here's why that matters. An A340 heavy check that would cause serious financial pain? Lufthansa Technik makes it economical. Old A320s keep flying without expensive lease repayments. Cabin retrofits cost less. Engine overhauls stay within the group. This creates a feedback loop. Old aircraft flows to Lufthansa Technik, lower overhaul costs, extended life, repeat. Keeping aircraft longer directly boosts Technik's bottom line. Internal work on extended life jets accounts for steady revenue, subsidizing competitive external contracts. Other airlines can't replicate this. Not the maintenance, the scale. Lufthansa Technik is also pushing digitization to reduce costs further. Spare, refurbished parts from older aircraft reduce costs further. The result? Lufthansa operates aircraft longer, cheaper, and more profitably than competitors who don't have this in-house advantage. But maintenance savings alone don't explain why old jets sometimes make more money than new ones. That comes down to overlooked economics. This isn't new. Lufthansa has extended types longer than peers for decades, like flying 737 Classics until 2016. Most airlines retired them by 2010, and A300s until 2009. Many Lufthansa aircraft are fully paid off, no lease payments, depreciation already accounted for. Operating costs become mostly fuel plus maintenance. Now, yes, there's a fuel burn penalty. New jets do burn less fuel, but old jets have lower capital costs. Here's the calculation analysts often miss. A brand new A350-900 had an average list price of $317.4 million in 2018. If it sits idle during the slow winter months, you're bleeding money. But a 25-year-old A340 that's fully depreciated? Park it, fly it when demand returns. The economics still work. Note that the A340's 4 engines aren't a cost win. They do burn more fuel, but Lufthansa deploys them strategically on premium-heavy routes where revenue trumps efficiency. Lufthansa's long-haul network is seasonal, event-driven, and heavily premium-oriented. Older jets handle winter capacity swings, last-minute upgauges, and temporary route boosts. A new jet can't sit idle in January, an older one can. The fixed costs are already sunk. Airlines like Wizz Air and EasyJet boast young fleets. They pay enormous leasing and/or financing costs. Lufthansa prefers asset ownership, financial resilience, and long amortization cycles. Contrast that with ultra-young fleets at Wizz Air, average 4.6 years, or Norwegian, 8.5 years. Their lease-heavy models force quick turnovers to avoid escalating payments. Lufthansa's fleet is mostly owned, a large majority is unencumbered. Fully owned older jets also offer balance sheet perks. easy sales to asset managers, or collateral for financing during cash crunches. This gives Lufthansa unmatched financial flexibility. It can extend aircraft life, retire them early if needed, use them as collateral for financing. As long as the jet is maintained, age is irrelevant. Aircraft depreciate over 12 to 20 years with low residual values, incentivizing long ownership over short leases. Older widebodies like A340s stay viable because Lufthansa Technik has slashed heavy check turnarounds, minimizing downtime. But this strategy got put to the ultimate test during the pandemic, and what happened next proved Lufthansa's approach wasn't just theory. Lufthansa grounded A340s, A380s, and 747s during COVID. Massive storage at various storage locations around the world. The expectation was long-term demand collapse. But demand surged back, long-haul rebounded strongly, premium cabins were full. Suddenly, older jets were invaluable. In 2022, Lufthansa resurrected 5 A340-600s. By 2023, they brought back all 10. Why bring them back? Extra first-class seats, perfect for premium-heavy Frankfurt routes, quick to reactivate, no need to wait for delayed new aircraft. Other airlines had scrapped these models. Lufthansa turned them into strategic assets. The A340-600s feature 56 business-class seats and 8 first-class. On routes where premium demand is high, fuel burn becomes secondary to revenue generation. The A340-600 shines on Frankfurt's premium runs, mostly to Asia during the summer. The same logic applied to the A380. All 8 returned to service by early 2025 for premium routes to LAX, JFK, Boston, DC, Delhi, and Denver. Here's the part that made this possible. Lufthansa could reactivate these jets because it would keep them maintained, because Lufthansa Technik had the expertise, because the strategy was already baked in. Airlines that sent their old jets to the desert for permanent retirement, they couldn't do this. Lufthansa could. As of late 2025, Lufthansa still operates 6 A340-600s on routes from Frankfurt to Boston, Detroit, JFK, Riyadh. Phase out now delayed to late 2026. The aircraft that other carriers wrote off years ago are still making Lufthansa money. But there is another reason the old fleet stuck around, one that forced Lufthansa's hand whether they liked it or not. Lufthansa Group has massive new aircraft orders: A350-900s, A350-1000s, 777-9s, 787-9s, A320neo family, hundreds of jets on order. But delivery delays hit hard. Boeing 787 deliveries faced a freeze due to seat certification issues. The 777X keeps getting pushed back, originally planned for 2020, now delayed to 2027. Supply chain shortages everywhere. Lufthansa has no choice but to keep older jets to maintain capacity. By mid-2025, Lufthansa had received only 4 of 35 ordered 787-9s. Allegris cabin certification problems, now only partially resolved, with full rollout by end 2025, slowed everything down. But here's the difference: Lufthansa planned for this. A life extension strategy was already part of its model. While other airlines scrambled to find capacity solutions, Lufthansa kept flying what it had. The A340s came back. The old A320s kept running. The 747-400s flew longer than planned. Instead of panicking, Lufthansa adjusted. The old jets kept flying. This revealed something often overlooked about Lufthansa's fleet strategy. The mixed ages aren't a problem, they're the whole point. Lufthansa mainline operates 8 different widebody types today, one of the most diverse fleets in the industry. Right now, it flies 747-8Is that are relatively new, A350s that are very new, A330s that are mid-life, A340s that are old, 787s that are new, 777Xs coming eventually. This allows right-sizing routes, dynamic seasonal adjustments, premium-heavy versus economy-heavy tailoring. If A350s get stuck for maintenance, Lufthansa has A340s. If 787 deliveries are delayed, it has A330s. If the 777X is missing for years, it has 747-8s. Operational redundancy. Long service of families like the A320 CEO cuts training costs. Pilots and crew stay type-rated for years, saving millions annually. And passenger segmentation, high-yield business travelers get A350s, 787s, and 747-8s. Leisure-heavy destinations get A330s and A340s. Lufthansa sends older jets where cabin experience matters less. It's not trying to impress with new metal on every route, it's optimizing revenue, but that also creates a problem of brand perception. Fly the new A350-900 and you'll see new Allegris cabins. Sit in an older 747-400, outdated cabins that speak of yesteryear, a period long before the pandemic. Still, fleet diversity equals network flexibility. In an industry plagued by delays, shortages, and unpredictability, that flexibility is valuable. By 2030, Lufthansa plans to reduce type diversity, but it's not rushing. It's phasing out older models only as new ones actually arrive, gradually, strategically. So, what does the future look like? Lufthansa's transition is already happening. More A350s arriving, more 787s joining the fleet. The 777-9 will come eventually. Gradual phase-out of the A340-300, A340-600, and A330-300. The 777-9 and A350-1000 will finally consolidate types, but only once deliveries stabilize post-2027. By 2030, Lufthansa will retire the A340-300, A340-600, and the last 747-400s. The 747-8 and A380s will stay longer in premium configurations until enough 777-9s are in service. The company expects to receive over 40 next-generation aircraft by end 2026. The future fleet will be cleaner, more efficient, but still diverse, still strategic. Environmental optics sting. Older jets guzzle more fuel, but Lufthansa counters with offsets, SAF commitments, and Lufthansa Technic's AeroShark drag reduction tech to stay regulator-aligned. Because Lufthansa learned something most airlines miss. The newest fleet isn't always the best fleet. The smartest fleet is. So, why does Lufthansa keep Europe's oldest fleet? An in-house maintenance empire lowers costs. Long depreciation cycles make old jets cheap to operate. Financial stability is valued over aesthetics. Seasonal flexibility requires older, paid-off jets. Delivery delays forced their hand, but they were ready. The A340 and 747 still fit strategic roles. Premium routes justify keeping older first-class aircraft. When you see an aviation graphic claiming Lufthansa has the oldest fleet in Europe, know this: it's not an accident. It's a strategy built on engineering expertise, economics, resilience, and a uniquely German approach to asset value. Hey, before you go, the YouTube algorithm thinks you're going to like this video next, so why not check it out?